for today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of Colourpop makeup. These are going to be mostly all first impressions. There are a few things that I've tried before, but a lot of first impressions in this video. I wanted to just do a full-on face of Colourpop makeup. They are super affordable, really high quality. I love Colourpop, so I thought that would be a perfect brand to do a full face of makeup. I know a lot of people are trying to buy makeup on a budget, and that is what I love about Colourpop, that they're so affordable. So I wanted to just do a full face for you guys. There are a couple products that I don't have in Colourpop that I'll be using, just products that I already have, but most of them are Colourpop, so I'm so excited to show you guys a full face. You guys know how much I love a tinted moisturizer, so I was really excited that I saw that they had this on the website. So it says it's ideal for all skin types. Hyaluronic acid known to hydrate and support healthy looking skin. It has coconut water to support hydration and skin softness. So it just says to use a sponge or fingertips to kind of blend into the skin. So this is dermatologist tested, oil-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, and vegan. I'm gonna also look up the prices of all of these products so I can let you know. This is $14 for 1.45 fluid ounces, so that is awesome. Okay, I got this shade medium 10 neutral or 10N. I was not sure about this shade because it's hard to match online, but I'm hoping for the best. I am hoping that there's some forgiveness because it's a tinted moisturizer and they're so sheer. Sometimes you can get away with being a little bit off. All right, so this is what the packaging looks like. So cute, so minimal. I love that it's like a squeezy with a pump. I think that's so cute. So you just take the little lid and then we're gonna pump this. Okay, that's promising. I feel like because I self-tan, that looks like I might have done the right shade. All right, so I'm gonna go in with this. I'm not sure how much I need to use as I mix it. Doesn't really have a smell. Let's see, I'll get kind of close up so you can really see. Okay. It feels very moisturizing, like it's gonna be really dewy. Let's see. I want to make sure you can like really see what I'm doing. Okay, okay. So far, I feel like that shade's okay. Like, I think I did a good job with choosing that. All right, so our first impressions, little greasy, a little bit, but I'm gonna let it soak in. I'm gonna let it see if it kind of seeps into the skin, gets absorbed, and kind of dries a little bit. I think I got the right shade. I feel like that matches pretty well. It does feel a little tacky, tiny bit greasy. I don't like calling things greasy because it just sounds so bad. But it does feel so hydrating that it's like kind of almost sticky a little bit and like just very like, you know, when you put on something like super hydrating. That's how it feels. I feel like that covered a lot. It matches really well. It looks very fresh on the face. The only thing I'm concerned about is the tackiness, but we're gonna see if that kind of absorbs into the skin because a lot of tinted moisturizers, they are moisturizers, so they're gonna be a little bit more dewy and hydrating. So I'm gonna just see how that dries down because right now I actually really love how it's looking on the skin, which I am so happy about because I absolutely love tinted moisturizers. The next thing I'm gonna go ahead and try is the No Filter Concealer. I have heard so many people talking about this concealer, so I wanted to give it a try. I got this shade medium 22. I don't love a super light under eye, so I tried to get a more medium tone that would match a little better, but I don't know. I don't know. So we're gonna go in with this. It's supposed to be like a matte concealer. Let's get a little closer. Okay. I feel like that's a good shade for me. I'm doing good with the online color matching. So, I've heard a lot of good things about this, but something else I have heard is that it tends to be pretty polarizing. So people are either loving this or hating it. So I'm very curious curious to see what I think. It feels kind of moussey a little bit, but it also feels like it's gonna dry down kind of quickly, which is interesting. Okay, so on camera that's coming off pretty light. So I'm gonna add this to the rest of my face to kind of even that out, because right now I look like I have really light under eyes. I may have used too much, like that's very possible. So I'll do a little bit on the other areas just to kind of balance everything out, because we don't want to look like we just have a super white under eyes. That's not a cute look. So I will say this concealer looks a lot lighter when you blend it out than when I just like applied it. It didn't look like it was gonna show up this light on the skin, which is very interesting. But let's see how it covered. I mean, you can definitely see the darkness under my eyes because I have really, really bad under eyes. Like really dark. I do think it's kind of creasing on my lids a little bit, if you can tell. I don't know if you can. I don't feel like it covers as much as I would want it to. And I feel like it's kind of creasy and kind of like sitting, can you guys see? Kind of like sitting in my lines. I don't know that I love the formula. I'm gonna be honest. I feel myself wanting to put Shape Tape over it, but I don't know if you guys will be mad at me. Will you guys be mad at me if I do that? Because then it's not really like a full face. It's just, let me see if I add a little bit more. So far though, I don't love it, to be honest. I just feel like it looks weird on my under eyes. Like it looks, like it doesn't cover too much, but it kind of looks heavy on me. But I know some people like it, but I don't think I like it. I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like it's creasing, and I feel like it looks heavy without covering much on me. Listen, I'm just gonna add like a dot of Shape Tape because I am going like out and about today, and I want my under eyes to look a little bit better. Okay, so the Colourpop No Filter Concealer is $6.50, so it's super affordable, so you can't complain about that. But I'm just gonna be honest, I don't personally like how it looks under my eyes. So I'm going to add some, just like a little bit of my Tarte, because it just never fails me. I definitely have a darker color in this as well. I personally don't like light under eyes on myself. I like a more medium tone. So I'm just gonna add a little because I do want some better coverage, to be honest. So first impressions, I don't think I would reach for it. I wouldn't purchase it again, but I know a ton of people like it, so it just depends. Makeup really just depends on you and your preferences, your skin. I don't personally like that, but my face doesn't feel as tacky anymore, so I think the tinted moisturizer dried down, and I do feel like I like that. But I definitely want to bronze up my face because I feel like that concealer really lightened it up. I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier and just like set my face down because I didn't get a powder. I will say this concealer is creasing on me, and I don't ever have that issue really with other concealers that I use. So I don't know if it'll be like that for everyone, but for me, I'm getting some creasing. So I definitely want to add some color back into my face. So I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Pressed Powder Cheek. Oh, it says highlighter. It wasn't supposed to be a highlighter. Ooh, I'm nervous. I thought this was just bronzer. This is what it looks like. It's in the shade Private Party. Let's try it. I don't know what else to say besides let's just see. Let's just see. I need to hold up a mirror because I can't see. I can't tell. I think it might have shimmer because it said highlighter. So I don't really know. I'm hoping we can bronze up the skin because that concealer was lighter than I like to go. That's one of the reasons I don't personally like to do a super light concealer, because I like my skin to look pretty bronzed, and I just feel like when I add like really light concealers, it kind of just makes me have to add so much color back in that I'm like, what's the point, you know? I don't feel like, I mean, it's adding, maybe it's just because my skin needs so much color right now, but I don't feel like it is like adding so much color, but I do think it's really pretty, and sometimes it's nice to kind of have to build things up. So it is a nice bronzer. I feel like it's a nice tone that warmed up my face really nicely. I think it is matte. It says highlighter on it, but I think it's matte. If you look up close, I feel like it's blendable. It looked really nice, and it's not like crazy pigmented, so you can kind of work with it a little bit. I don't have a highlight, so I'm just gonna quickly put on the highlight that I always do. We'll just speed through this really quickly. Now this product I'm a little nervous about. This is the Super Shock Cheek in the shade Between the Sheets, and this is not the color I thought it was online. This one's very deep, and I don't know how it's gonna look on me. So, we'll see. I forgot to tell you guys, the bronzer is $7. Blush is $6. So they're very, very affordable, which is so nice. So I'm gonna just tap into this and then tap it on my hand, because I don't know how pigmented these are. I've been liking blush more, so I did want to give this one a try because it looked kind of plummy and pretty, but it definitely to me looks darker in the pan than online, so I was a little bit nervous. Actually, is it popping on too intense? So I feel like that's actually a really nice blush. I was nervous by the shade, but I actually think that looks really pretty. It's not as intense as it looks in the pan, so I am happy about that, because I was nervous that that'd be a little bit too deep for me. I'm not a huge eyeshadow wearer, but I do love my neutrals, and this is the Going Coconuts palette. I think it's so cute, and then if you open it up, it's got some beautiful shades, like just gorgeous everyday shades. It's a little bit more cool toned than we've been seeing lately, which I like because I'm actually not huge into like the super warm tones on the eyes anymore. For me, I just don't think it suits my skin great. So this does have a little mirror, so I want to just take this little tabby off, and then we'll have a mirror to work with. I really do like how Colourpop like manufactures their own products. I think that's really awesome, because they have got great control over their products. So this palette right now was $12, and now it's on sale for $9, which I think is crazy good. Like, you get all these shades, and they're just really pretty everyday shades, so you can get a lot of use out of this. I'm gonna start with just doing a base shade of this one right here. It's kind of that skin tone shade. It's called Shredded. I'm gonna put that all over my lids, just as like a light little base. And then, after we've kind of brightened that up, I'm gonna go in with the shade Lovely Bunch, which is this shade right here. I kind of want to do just like a nice light neutral look, which I think that is what this is perfect for. So there's a little bit of kick up on there. I don't care about that, but some people do, so I just want to mention that. I'm just gonna put that just to kind of add a little bit of dimension in the crease. I don't want anything too crazy, which is why I think this palette is perfect if you want just kind of like an everyday subtle palette. So then I'm also gonna add just a little bit of this shade right here. This one is called Shell Yeah, and it's like this more plummy one. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of that as well, just to add like a little something to the eyes. And then that is all I'm gonna do for the eyes, because I don't love to use a lot of eyeshadow, you guys know that. So I'm just gonna do my mascara and my brows off camera, because they're not Colourpop, and then I will come back to do the lips. All right, so the last thing is lips. So I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF. It's like this really cute little nudie shade. These lip pencils are normally $6, but they're on sale for $4.50 right now, so super affordable. I'm gonna go in with this and just line my lips. It's like a nice kind of pinky natural nude color. And they're very smooth and glidey if you guys have ever used Colourpop lip pencils. They're just like so creamy. Once we have lined the lips, I'm gonna go in with the little lipstick in the shade Appy. That's what it looks like. Nice little nude. So I'm gonna go in with this. Last thing I'm gonna do is go in with the Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Fairy Floss. This is like one of my all-time favorite lip glosses ever. All right, so this is the finished look. I hope that you guys like seeing a full face of Colourpop makeup. Just going in review to kind of tell you guys what I think is worth it and what I think isn't. I actually do really like the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. As it's been on my skin, it has dried down. It's just definitely feeling a lot more comfortable and wearable as it kind of absorbed into the skin. It is very hydrating. I thought it had good coverage. I would recommend this one. I do think Colourpop just has such affordable pricing that this is just definitely worth it in my opinion. Something that I would for sure pass on is the No Filter Concealer. Just for me, it didn't work. It didn't look good under the eyes. It didn't cover enough, but it looked really heavy. I just personally don't like this one, but I know a lot of people do and it is affordable. But in my opinion, I would pass on this one. The Private Party bronzer is actually very pretty. I think if I didn't have to bronze up so much from that concealer, I would have liked it even more because I wouldn't have had to use so much. But I think it's a really blendable matte bronzer. It's a nice shade. It's super affordable. So I would recommend this one as well if you are looking for just like an everyday matte bronzer. Same with the Colourpop little cheek, what are these called? Super Shock Cheeks. It was nice and light and not too pigmented, so it wasn't like overwhelming right away. I'm not sure, of course, how this wears all the way throughout the day, but on first impression, this was a really nice blush and it is not as intense as it looks in the pan. So that is something to keep in mind as well. Going Coconut palette, I know I did not use very many shades out of this, but I would recommend just based on formula and pricing, the color scheme. It does have those shimmers and those deeper colors if you want to do a more intense look. That's just not really my thing, but definitely if you like that, this is great and it has that to offer as well. And then for the lips, I'm a huge fan of Colourpop lip products and they're so cheap. So I really love the lip liners. They're so creamy. You can use this as just an all over lip color if you wanted as well. And I really love this color. It's just like the perfect nude shade. And then Fairy Floss has been my favorite lip gloss for so many years. Like I literally love this gloss. I think it's the perfect pinky, not too sheer but not too pigmented. I just love it. It's a great nude gloss. It goes over everything and it also looks really beautiful on its own or with a lip liner. And then the little lipstick in Appy. I like the formula. I'm not a huge fan of this shade. This isn't the type of nude that I would typically go for. It's a little too warm and deep in my opinion for me. I think it's so beautiful for other people, but for me, I would pass on the shade, but the formula is really good. So that is it for this video. I hope that you liked the full face of Colourpop. A lot of first impressions, some really good hits and a couple of misses. But if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.